Yo ho hoy, yo ho hoy, yo ho hoy hoy.
Ah, Sek-chan, what are you doing? Oh, that's right. Sek-chan said boo, as Sek-chan does. Oh lordy. This episode is Zenkaiger, and it's all about how we're meeting the Sixth Ranger, and it follows on exactly the way it was from the previous one. And it's kind of interesting. I've got to admit, I kind of really like this episode because I feel like we got more character development. We got a bit of silliness, but not too silly. But I think the actions of the bad guys have actually helped this time, and it's a little bit kind of, hey, I'm going to do this, to kind of get you guys a bit closer. But also, there's piratey actions. Piratey actions are always good. So everyone is kind of looking at the gears and going, hey, we kind of want this, like, what's going on? How did you get this? And I can understand why so many questions were asked, because if someone who had the same sort of powers as you turned up, you would kind of really want to know and kind of figure out what's going on. So I can see loads of questions popping up, being sent all the time. That's a main kind of given. Now, briefly going over everything, is this episode, again, mainly focuses, I think, on Twokai's Zox and his sister, Flint, who I've got to say, she is so damn cute. She is my Sentai crush. She's just so cute in this one. I really like the kind of interactions that they had. We find out that there is a world called Piratopia. Now, when I was watching the subbed version, it did kind of confuse me a little bit, because they say that they're from the world of Zenkaiger, but then it's Piratopia. But we know that Zenkaiger and all that was on the main canon universe, not separate. So it got to me a little bit, and I was just like, oh, this doesn't make sense. But we find out that they actually jump from multiverse. So they've now said that, yes, there is a multiverse out there with Sentai Warriors and stuff. And that's really interesting, because we're seeing that with the Power Ranger universe, the multiverse. And I like this. I really, really do. So Flint says that she based the Twokai design on the Zenkaiger's because they looked really cool. And to be fair, as much as like anyone says, the Zenkaiger suits, I think, are preferably the best suits out there. They look like if you're going to an important meeting or something like that, or a dinner party, that's where I was getting with. The Zenkaiger suits would be the formal, like the proper suits that you would wear. They just look spot on. They are one of my favorite designs out of all of Super Sentai. You're also introduced to two other characters, and one's called Ricky, which is the O-Ranger one, which is Katana, which again, like, I'm not sure if it's Katana or it sounds like Cortana a little bit, but Katana. I'm guessing because of the Shinkenger one. So I kind of really like these sorts of models. I don't like I don't like it when you see them in sort of CGI. They just, to me, don't look really decent. We have a thing which, the main thing is this mochi thing, which is like a snack which Majin, Gaion, and Flint eat, and it's a big part later on for one of the big monsters. So as they kind of go on, I have to admit, I do love the fact that Flint and Zox just steal everything in the shop. Like, they are proper pirates. We saw little bits of pirate activity in Zenkaiger, but these guys just literally steal everything in the shop and just cheese it. And you see, like, I can't remember the grandmother's name. When she comes back, she doesn't like it. Now, I have just noticed it because I've got it up on screen. I really like Flint's weapon, and it's very piratey. It's not generally, how do I say, like, like a normal gun. It's pretty much probably from the pirate era, and it's got 4 barrels, which basically means that there's only going to be 4 shots in it, which I think is kind of cool. One thing is, like, everyone's got guns, but bar Katana, which has got a knife, and he's just going, "I'm gonna get you! I'm gonna get you!" I don't know why, but it's just weird that everyone's got it. Even Ricky has got like a machine gun, like a Gatling gun. That's weird, but dear God, was it kind of funny to see. Kaito finds Vox and his sister and challenges him to a duel and says, "Hey, don't particularly want you to ransack or plunder this entire world, so let's have a fight. Let's have a duel type thing. And Vox kind of agrees to it. But Flint's like, well, hang on a minute. There's nothing that you're going to get from this, so why would you even bother about it? Which, again, I can understand, because I generally thought Vox would have said, well, if you lose, I get your entire whole gears. Your gears are mine. Because in the first time that you see him when he's against Stacy, is you literally see him go like, oh, these aren't treasure. This isn't what I want to see. So that's how I would be like. I'd be like, I want this as a treasure, as a thing for me. Now, for some strange, bizarre reason, Kaito wants to challenge him to a rock, paper, scissors. And you literally think that if you've seen this, if you've seen the way that he is, you know that that's not going to work. And it's going to have to be literally like a proper fight duel. But we know that Vox is a really good fighter. He's probably one of the best ones in the entire series. He knows how to fight, so he knows how to do it. So they start fighting, which again, I kind of really liked, because I really want to see Twokaiger just go at him, like literally just destroy him, or Twokaiger just literally go at him and fight. And you see this. Now, in this fight, we find out a bit of backstory on how they got the gears, how when Rude and all that, I can't remember their names, they come to Piratopia, so therefore Flint and Vox jump in, they grab I'm guessing they grabbed all the information, downloaded it, stole it, everything that you can think of. That was the main issue for this entire thing, which is great, because I love seeing this backstory, and in the middle of a fight as well. I thought that was beautiful, that was well deserved. But one thing is, and I don't think you saw this in Zenkaiger, is when so you have Majin and Gaion, and then obviously you have Flint later. They get addicted to eating this food, so they have to go off and find it. So with this, they have to rush off to eat more because they become addicted to it, and that's the power of Mochi World. Again, I love the names, so that's the power of it so far, which is absolutely fine. And they kind of rush around to try and find it so they can eat as much as they can. So kind of very much later at the end of this fight, Gaion and Vrum tell Kaito what's going on. So therefore, like, they want to pause the battle. And Twokai is like, yeah, go ahead. You can absolutely do that. Why? It's fine. It's on my face now. I'm going to hold my hand up like this. And as soon as Kaito jumps up, he literally shoots him in the back. And I love the fact that Twokaiger did that, because it felt like that's what that would happen in a duel. And that's absolutely perfectly fine. So for me to kind of see all this, I was just like, I kind of like that. Twokaiger is going to keep going. But then obviously you've got Ricky. He comes along and he goes, oh, hey, guess what? Flint's been like, is acting weird. And Twokaiger stops. And he goes straight to like where the bad guy is on this one. And I like this because it just means, it feels really weird. Like, there we are. It felt really cool to this because he loves his sister quite dearly. So you know that he's going to go there straight away and go in for the attack. The gear that is used in this series is the Denjiman one. And I kind of like that. He gets the kind of like the punches and stuff, which I kind of think I wanted to see more gears used in this one rather than just the one gear, but I'm guessing it's probably now one gear a week, or at least maybe two now. But hey, it's a thing. So kind of wrapping this up, everyone is still going mad for this food. I love that Gaion. He's about to get some, but this guy turns around and says, oh, I'll pay, you can buy mine. And he's like, oh, I'll give you anything, all my money out of that. And I love that Vrum and Duran bust in and go, no scalping. I really thought that was fun. In general, soon after all of this happens, you get the main bad guy saying, hey, if anyone can defeat the Zenkaigers, I will give them all the mochi, all the food out there. And everyone turns on them and chases Duran and Vrum straight down there. And I love this. I really liked this entire kind of scene because it just felt really funny, very well like kind of put in. The next stage for this was that I love Vox when he enters and it's just like he's singing his song. Now I don't know what it is. It feels very kind of horror in a way where you can be in an abandoned building and you hear this like this song and it's kind of creepy at the same time. I really love the song that they've done. But for me on this one, I was a bit kind of like, For me, I loved it. I just think that I want it to happen most time, where it's like the bad guy doesn't know what's coming up, and then you see Twokai, and he's generally kind of walking in. Vox now turns around and says, hey, whoever can defeat him first wins the duel. And they go at it. And I love the fact that Vox doesn't hold back as well. You know, he will attack both Kaito as well as the monster to get what he wants. And I love that. I love that they've done that completely. So with all of this, we see the two different forms of Shinken and O-Ranger. I love the fact that they're in there. I'm not a big fan of the dance, but you know, I kind of think that I would rather see like quick changes over time. But since this is his first time out there, I'll give it a pass. But for much later on, I would quite like to see quick motives or him incorporate the dance into a fight scene. Kaito basically wins. Like, you know, he's gonna win this one. And it's kind of really weird the way he does. He rips off the monster's kind of leaf, which again apparently is the way that he was defeated. It just didn't make sense. But as soon as this happens, we get a Zord battle, we get everything. Vox is wondering what's going on, and that is pretty much it. The very end, everything has been replaced in a way. They're putting all the food back out. Vox appears, gives them a load of money and says, hey, there you go. That's it. Now, I kind of think it's going to be a while before he joins up, but I do think Vox is going to join in much later on to say, hey, you know, let's team up and let's fight. It's more beneficial. I generally really want to see how this all plays out, and I can't wait if Flint becomes a ranger herself. I don't know if that's going to be a thing, but some people are saying it could be. We'll find out probably in the next 5 episodes or something, or when everyone needs help, something like that. But for me, this episode was great. I really liked it. I love the introduction of Twokai. It's definitely worth it to me. And I think I would really highly rate this episode. I would have liked more fighting between Kaito and Vox, because I feel like there's a ton more that could have happened, rather than whoever beats this bad guy. I love the way Vox is as a character, where he is literally there for his sister. Generally really like it and think it's a great one. Love the backstory as well. I really want to see more. I would love it if the Gokai just met him as well, because I think that would be kind of cool, because I could see Marvelous go, hey, that's our design. And I would love to see something. I think it's a great episode. Generally highly recommended, and I'm gonna leave it there. So what are your thoughts on this one? Are you a big fan? Do you like it? Did you not? What are your thoughts? Let me know down below in the comments. And if you like this sort of content and you want to see more, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, as well as that cheeky notification bell to be notified when more videos drop. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.
チャンネルをサポートしてくれてありがとうございます。チャンネル登録、高評価お願いします。